Today, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office announced the conclusion of their review into a critical incident involving an armed subject who entered our police station on December 18th and attempted to shoot at one of our police officers. The officer in question responded with lethal force, prompting an investigation by the Michigan State Police and a thorough review by the Wayne County Prosecutor. The investigation and review by these outside agencies were separate from our own internal review to ensure that any conclusions were fair and independent. Now that the investigation is fully concluded, we are releasing this video to the public to ensure transparency and accountability, and because this incident deeply affected our community. Prior to the release of this footage, the family of the deceased was permitted to watch the full video. My sincere condolences go out to the family, who will forever be altered by the day's events. This was a tragedy for our entire community, including one of our officers who faced down an imminent threat to his life. We are praying for everyone affected by this tragedy, and I hope we will work together as a society to prevent this from happening again. This critical incident briefing contains graphic footage, and viewer discretion is advised. Around 3:33 p.m. on December 18th, surveillance footage shows the subject entering his former place of work on Warren Avenue. He proceeds to walk over toward the register, where he steals a handgun from the drawer and conceals it in his pants. Within approximately 10 minutes of leaving the salon, the subject arrives at the police station in a black SUV. That same afternoon, the Dearborn Police Station lobby was busy with foot traffic from residents, including families, due to the holiday events in the immediate vicinity, as well as a holiday toy drive that was taking place in the lobby. The subject then parks in a no parking zone directly in front of the lobby entrance, gets out of the vehicle and enters the building. Once inside, the subject proceeds directly to the desk. Acknowledging his presence, an officer then asks, "How are you doing?" The subject immediately pulls out a gun, aims it at the officer, and pulls the trigger. After pulling the trigger, the subject experiences a malfunction of the firearm. He checks the weapon, removes the magazine, puts it back in the gun, and attempts to rack the gun slide to resolve the malfunction. The officer yells "gun" several times to alert fellow officers inside the station.
Gun, 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 gun.
At this point, the officer recognizes that the subject poses a lethal threat to not only himself, but others who may be in or around the public lobby. Acting on his duty to confront the lethal threat, the officer slides open the glass and fires several rounds at the subject.
Gun, 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 gun.
While the glass is considered bullet resistant, it is not bulletproof. And furthermore, the officer has a duty to protect the public and his fellow officers when faced with an active gunman. When the officer engaged the threat, he discharged 17 rounds in a span of 4.5 seconds. In doing so, the officer acted in accordance with departmental training and guidelines on confronting lethal threats. Here is a view of that incident again from the desk camera, including audio.
Gun, 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 gun.
In accordance with their training, other officers proceed to secure the scene and ensure the subject safe to approach, allowing EMS to arrive and render medical aid to the subject. At the same time, other officers exit the front doors of the police station to search the subject's vehicle for other potential threats. An ambulance arrives within 7 minutes of the officer engaging the subject, and first responders render aid. The subject is carried out on a stretcher and transported to a nearby hospital where he is pronounced deceased. As you just witnessed, this was a tragic event for our community, for a family who lost a loved one, and for our police officers. Neither the Michigan State Police nor our internal investigation have been able to determine a motive in this incident. This individual has had 2 prior contacts with the Dearborn Police, which were both non-criminal in nature. The Dearborn Police Department is providing a link to the full video, as well as a link to our transparency dashboard. Thank you.